different ways through training. Obviously, there's lots of stuff in the PDF, the equip paper, talks about different ways people can get training, the importance of keeping your team, your leaders, like trained. I think it's a demonstration of pastoral care. I think, is it, like being concerned that people are becoming the person that God's made them to be, that are getting opportunities that, like, and it's also like we should be thinking about like the well-being and the of our people. So there's that aspect to it, and there's loads in that document. And I guess because like fundamentally our understanding as Christians is that we never stop learning, isn't it? Like that's what Reap's about. Like we all want to still be open to learning. Like Jesus calls us disciples, which means learners. So we train to make the most of like the deposit that God's given us, right? Think parable of the talents. Now you can have like structured training. This is kind of structured most of the time, and other stuff that is in the document. But I wondered if we could reflect a little bit together on the kind of unstructured training, informal training that we offer people through the example of our own lives and like the way that we do it, like the pattern of our own leadership that we offer to others as an example. I remember a mentor saying to me when I was about, 17, 18, something like that, you can't lead someone past where you are. I remember being a little bit like offended, I think, at the time. Because he'd said this to me like in response to like an area of sin in my life that he felt I was like treating quite like flippantly. Do you know what I mean? Like wasn't really getting serious about. And I thought, he's been a bit harsh, like, do you know what I mean? But in hindsight, with a couple of decades of extra experience, I realised like it's true, like it's obvious, isn't it? Really, like just earlier on, I took Zachary, our 4-year-old, swimming, and he's there, like he's getting better, but he still needs his armbands, and quite a lot of instruction, right? And it just suddenly occurred to me, like, you wouldn't ask like someone who couldn't swim to like teach your kid to swim, would you? You wouldn't put like it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like funny, but it'd be dangerous, right? Yeah. But if we truly believe what we say we believe about the importance of people coming to know Jesus and about the importance of people's like spiritual health, then it is more important that those of us who are in leadership in the church are doing it in the right way. Even more important than a swimming teacher knowing how to like look after little kids who don't know how to swim. Like, do we believe that lives are at stake? Like God puts us in that position, does it? And it's like, wow. It's a big thing, and I don't think God calls us to take ourselves overly seriously, but we certainly shouldn't be approaching all this with sort of flippancy of like not realising the seriousness of people's situation. I might have told you previously, I've been reading through J.C. Ryle's Holiness, and the bit I read this morning, it was just really like really blunt, in a way that like we're maybe not used to speaking to people now. It was like, it's something like, he was saying if someone who picks this up who like occasionally attends church but doesn't like do much else to follow Jesus with the rest of their life, he's just like, what are you doing? Stop it. Like, so do you not realise that your life is in danger and all this? And I'm reading it like, this is a bit awkward and non-politically correct. But that's like, it's true, isn't it? We've got to recognise the gravity of the situation. And like we've said, Antioch is about leader-led church planting, as in the leader has to be right for a church to be healthy, basically. The team has to be right for a healthy church to grow. Like, it's why Paul holds people to high account, doesn't he? He says to Timothy, like, overseers are to be above reproach, and that's a like scary list, isn't it? When you read what he says, like, to the Corinthian church, he says, like, imitate me as I imitate Christ, which I always think, well, that's a bit big-headed, but that's basically what he's saying is like what we're saying, like God's put him there, like, to lead, and so people can follow him, but that means he has to take seriously his own discipleship. So with that in mind, I've just got a few areas that I thought it might be interesting to discuss about how we can be in our leadership, and like, I guess why these kind of areas of how we conduct ourselves are important in church planning. Does that make sense? So, number one, our devotional life. Number two, how we approach mission. Number three, how we are with people. And number four, how we are like on Sundays or in contexts where we're like clearly sort of leading a meeting.
Sorry, what was the third one, Dan?
The third one, I can't remember what order I said them in.
So
devotional life,
how we approach mission,
how we approach mission, how we are with people.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
And then how we are like in those sort of like leading a meeting, whether it's a Sunday or a Bible study or whatever. Because it seems to me like we're being watched, right? In all, and you're not going to get a church that is healthy, like does things like in a better way miraculously than we do. Like how we approach like the mission thing, like how we are approaching evangelism will be how the church is going to do it. That's the biggest single influence. Does anyone want to chip in? Any thoughts on that? I thought it just helpful